In this video, I'm gonna give you a little walk around on all the upgrades, all the updates that we did on the twin engine RZR. And yes, I said twin engine because there is one in the front and in the back. The very first time that this thing saw any kind of competition was down in Texas. We took it to Mud Nationals, did some drag racing with it. Drag raced a little bit in the mud. It really was kind of a test run with this thing because it had never been ran before, ever. I mean, a little pass right out here in my field, right behind the house. Besides that, never had the tires on the ground. Learned a lot from that event and brought all that information back here and started putting it into this machine. Oh yeah, and I did the drag race event down there in Texas. A lot of people were like kind of ripping on it for being slow or whatever. But at the end of the day, this thing was never meant to do drag races. It just did that for fun. It looked like fun. I wanted to get involved. First and foremost, went with new CW Motorsports turbos in this thing, front and rear CW. Shout out CW, man. They make some of the best engines on the market, and not to mention, they always dropping new products like this. Very affordable replacement turbos. That thing is awesome. Can't wait to try those out. Obviously, you guys can tell we put portals on this thing. 6-inch dual idler. Oh yeah, and this thing is still a work in progress. I'm waiting on a few more parts. I'm going to be building my own ball joint delete A-arms, which is pretty cool. I'm also waiting on my other fuel cell. Everything is isolated in this. That's why this panel's off right here. I removed the factory fuel cell, and I'm going to put another aftermarket fuel cell just like this. Got these from my boy Riley Pete. Appreciate you, dog. Made my own offset tie rods. That was part of why my wheels were fighting each other so bad at the drag race. Went with the TCP rack. I don't have the boots on there yet because I'm still waiting to build the A-arms and then play around with the steering a little bit more. I have all that dialed. I will be putting the boots on there, of course. Went with 50-inch tires. They've been scooped, and System 3 24-inch wheels on this thing. So the L&W stuff has been holding up great, so we're going to continue to run that. Same with the Demon axles. I've yet to break a Demon axle, knock on wood, but they're holding up great, so we're going to run those bad boys. These are the same ones that we've had in here since we built this thing. Made some adjustment on the shocks and put some stiffer springs. I don't know if those are 4-seaters or what they are. This entire thing, really for the most part, is stuff that I've had laying around my shop. It's going to sound crazy, but this is the cheapest side-by-side that I own. Probably not ever owned, but that I currently own for sure. A couple questions that I get asked a lot, are they tied together in any way, like synchronized or anything like that? The answer is absolutely not. Everything is isolated all the way down to the fuel tanks that I showed you guys. So the main reason I did it this way, guys, is because I wanted everything being isolated. So if one has an electrical issue, or the very first time I took this thing out, I drowned it down there in Texas. I got mud and water and everything through all the fuel in the rear engine. The front wasn't contaminated because they're separated. So that's what I'm talking about. I want them separate, and I did it that way on purpose. What is that gonna do? Like whenever they go to like fight against each other, or one's faster than the other, shouldn't really matter. I mean, who cares? I'm running it in the mud. If I was gonna be on the pavement or something like that, maybe there'd be an issue. But this thing is never gonna be like on the highway or anything like that, doing any kind of speed where something would bind or fight each other. A lot of people were concerned about the additional weight on this thing. Well, first of all, we really didn't add that much by just adding an engine and a transmission. I also got rid of everything that I didn't need. Lots of plastic and brackets and stuff like that. A RZR engine weighs 120 pounds. I tried looking up what the transmission weight was. I didn't find it really quick, but I have one back there. I can pick it up no problem. I'm gonna guess it's 30 or 40 pounds. So it's basically like adding a passenger. Now I will say all the radiators, or the additional radiator, intercooler, the wiring, the fuel tank, you know, all that type of stuff. Now that added a little bit of weight, I will give you that. But again, it's another 100 pounds maybe. I mean, not a whole hell of a lot. It's basically like having a pretty big passenger riding with you. Now I just gotta tell you, the cage is probably the one thing that did weigh it down, but kind of helping tie the whole thing really together because the front of that thing really wants to lift up whenever I gas it. So I wanted that extra support going down and holding that front end down. So that's probably the most weight there, but it was pretty necessary on this machine. So yeah, there it is. A little bit more work to do. I'll be having it out at the Bogs and Boulders bounty course race put on by WTF Off-Road. That's kind of my plan, the first place that I'm going to debut it at. And yeah, so I'm just waiting on a few more parts. But besides that, this thing's ready to go. If you have any other questions, you know, let me know in the comments. But I think I kind of answered everybody's questions, I think. I don't know. At the end of the day, guys, it doesn't really matter. These are just toys, and I'm just out here trying to have some fun, build something new, do something different, you know, make people scratch their heads and really challenge myself too, because this was just a completely ridiculous idea that a buddy of mine and I had on our way out to raise King of Hammers, and we brought it to life. So it's not really that serious, guys. We're just having fun with it. At the end of the day, if it doesn't work at all, it's okay. We'll take it apart, we'll take the engines out, and we'll put it in something else. So it's all good. Nothing lost. We had a whole lot of fun doing it. But as for right now, we're onto something. And this thing is pretty fun. It's very fun to drive. I promise you, you can't drive it without smiling from ear to ear. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, man. Let's get these YouTube numbers up a little bit, man. I appreciate all you guys. Peace.